we just finished the panel. You saw Ron and Sonia speak this morning. So what's your impression about what's going on out there and what everybody, your colleagues, had to say on the panel?
Well, I think everyone is focused on diversity of capital. I think that's good. They're all responsible actors. I think that's important, that everyone just kind of focuses on making responsible loans and keeping the liquidity moving. And that was kind of felt throughout the panel. So that's good.
What was interesting to me is when I asked everybody what their number one concern is, everybody uniformly said liquidity. Like speaking to their investors every day. You go to work every day thinking, where are my investors' heads at? Where's the liquidity coming? How often do you talk to your investors on a weekly basis?
I mean, I'm not head of capital markets, but we are talking every day.
Every day?
Yeah, of course.
Are the guidelines for their buys being tweaked daily as much, or how does?
No, not daily. I mean, DSCR pricing can move with the market, but guidelines are not changing that quickly. I mean, things have stabilized. I mean, there was a period in 2022 when things changed a lot, but things have stabilized.
Your colleagues on the panel, who do you respect the most on that?
Who do I respect the most? That is a very profound question. I respect everyone equally.
Like equally, like equality equally, or?
They're all superpowers in their own way.
It's amazing that this industry has grown. And we all met at a conference such as this conference, the predecessor to this conference years ago. And so many businesses are not around them or have changed dramatically. And look at the crew that's there. It's really the core group from the prior conference, and they're sitting there. Isn't it amazing?
Well, it's good to see the responsible actors kind of survive and get through. That means a lot.
Yeah, first, thanks for all your contributions to the you've really taken on a huge role from an educational standpoint. You're very insightful. You're always willing to give your time, and it's a volunteer organization. Well, collectively, I do think we're making a huge difference.
For sure.
That glossary of terms we put out there now, that people are picking it up left and right at this conference. It was distributed to firms. People took it back and distributed to their firms. And private under law, we made it available to everybody. People need to know what they're talking about. And what amazed me is there was a conversation between you, Jeff Edison, a couple others, and we were talking about the same products with different terms. And like you're talking about the leading firms in the space.
We still don't have industry-wide standardization of terms, and people use different names for different things. And I think part of institutionalization and standardization, I think the NPLA will help with that.
I think 100%. We spent some time together with Ryan Schamberg from the Memorial last night. He even said that was an important piece of it. They're at what we'd say near the top of the food chain from a capital provider perspective, connected to the capital markets in terms of knowing what the term should and should not say. Sure. That's key. I'm really excited. And look, the industry is going to keep growing. What's your prediction on the rated securitization this year, next year?
I don't know about the timing, but I just wrote a piece for the NPLA, and I talk about like a bipolar world almost. I talk about Squid Games, which is a very fun show to watch. If you haven't seen it yet, you should.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I have read the article, but I don't think I appreciated the article as much because I never.
You don't appreciate the article because you haven't seen Squid Games. So I recommend you go home and watch Squid Games.
It was a Korean show.
It's a Korean show where people go through life and death rounds of games, and when they started in the game, they didn't realize that it was life and death. But each round was vicious. It was brutal. And that's why I call this environment.
Wait a minute, contestants just disappeared? And they didn't know they were competing for their lives?
Well, they realized it, but once they were in the game, they had to stay in the game. It was almost like a video game, like a parody. Like you have to see it.
The article makes the analogy to lending companies in this environment?
Essentially, right? We're going through round and round of blood sport, basically, right now. Is sort of the environment that we're in. But then I said there are green shoots everywhere. There's opportunity all over if you just look for it.
We have seen a tick up in ground up construction, right? Because to make up for that housing, stocks like Lennar are on a rip. They're going up higher. And we all believe that it's backstop what's going on.
For sure.
And you see commercial real estate is not faring as well, especially office space in the cities. Do you think this carries us through a recessionary period that now has been pushed back to the end of this year early or sometime next year based on all?
I mean, I think our frame of reference for housing, because of the scars of the GFC, the Great Financial Crisis, it's a little tainted by that. We think that each time there's a recession that housing is going to go down a lot. I don't think that's necessarily true. In fact, there have been many recessions in the past where housing was stable or even went up some. So the GFC was a unique scenario where the epicenter of the crisis was housing. This one is a little different. What we're seeing now is a little different, and the underbuilding of residential housing in the period post the GFC is really now like a backstop to values falling dramatically.
Let's talk about the conference real quick. What do you think?
I like going to all the locations, but the conference is great. We always get the best minds together, and we have great discussions. I always learn a lot just from networking here. We always do a lot of business here. And it's just good to see people in the industry every few months and catch up and exchange notes. It's crucial to kind of...
I think it's important for growth and what we're doing. What's your outlook on Q4?
I don't know exactly when things will change. For the people that are remaining in the industry, their volumes are going up. There's more of a positive outlook. There's an acceptance of the rate environment that we're in. So I think we're in the final innings and the late innings, right? But hard to call a bottom or an end to a cycle.
Favorite law firm to work with?
It's private lender law, of course.
It is, of course. You're not just saying that because I'm...
No, it's actually based purely on economics, that by the number of loans that we send to your office to close and all the business that we do together. But we also love private lender law.
Well, we appreciate the relationship, the friendships, and we are on Team Roc 100%. So we do appreciate it. And we're very proud of what you built.
Thanks.
You, Max, Arvin, and the whole team. And just keep going.
Thank you. Thank you for your partnership.